Good.
What was that last scripture we was reading? 2 Thessalonians.
Yeah, go
All
back
right,
to
2 Thessalonians, chapter 3, verse 13. But ye brethren,
I guess we'll cool it down, fall back for a couple of weeks or something like that. You know?
Fuck that spot.
Or just or yeah,
Leave that spot alone.
Yeah.
Dust the food off, they ain't go back there.
Yeah,
A lot of other spots around here.
yeah,
Sec-
pots and fill, you know?
2 Thessalonians, chapter 3, verse 13. But ye brethren, be not weary in well doing.
So this is well doing with the Apostle Paul telling the people, the believers, that's not like he's telling them well doing things that are well doing. Don't be weary in it, go ahead.
And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man, and have no company with him, that he
So
may
if
be
you don't want to listen to what the thing you just read, guess what? You gotta note that person. You don't want to deal with it. Right?
It says, and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed.
I have no company with him that he may be ashamed. Go ahead.
Yet count him not as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother.
Don't count him as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother. So don't count the person an enemy. You just gotta admonish him, gotta correct him as a brother. Listen, man,
It says, now the Lord of peace himself give you peace always by all means. The Lord be with you all. The salutation of Paul with my own hand, which is the token of in every epistle. So I write, the grace of our Lord Yahushua be with you. It says, the grace of our Lord Yahushua and Mashiach be with you all. Amen.
It says 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 9. It says, for it is written in the book. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9.
Somebody get Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse. Somebody get that's scripture where it's about last thing was speak about how it speaks about the meat and showbread. It says on the Sabbath day he told the disciples to get some corn.
I know what you're talking about.
Somebody get Leviticus the 6th chapter. Somebody find it. Should I read that right there? Read it out.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 1. Am I not an apostle? Am I not free? Have I not seen Yahushua our Lord? Are not ye my work in the Lord? If I be not an apostle unto others, yet doubtless I am to you.
Mark 2 and 23.
You get that Mark 2 and 23.
For the seal of my apostleship are ye in the Lord. My answer to them that do examine me is this.
You gotta say you're still of my apostleship in the Lord. Meaning what? You're the sign of the token of his apostleship.
It says, my answer to them that do examine me is this. Have we not power to eat?
It's like in Deuteronomy 25 before again. Leviticus 6 and 26.
I got that for you.
Start with this.
I got to do it.
Alright, start from 24 and when you get off the top come.
1 Corinthians 9 and 4. Have we not power to eat and to drink? Have we not power to lead about a sister or wife as well as other apostles and as brethren of the Lord and
They have
Cephas?
the power to do this. They can have a wife. They have the power to eat and drink. They're apostles. They have the power. They have the liberty to do these things. They have the liberty to eat and drink with them, to get the resources for the church, and so on and so forth. Right?
Or I only and Barnabas have not we power to forbear working?
Yeah, look at the power to forbear work. Look at the power to not work. Yeah. Yeah.
Who goeth a warfare any time?
Why would he say they have not the power to forbear work? Because they're supposed to be able to live off of their apostleship. Man, somebody look at the words, type in the words salt salary. Salt salary. Okay, salary. Salt, like salt salary.
That 1 Corinthians 9 and 7. Who goeth a warfare any time at his own charges? Who planteth a
Right,
vineyard?
we're going to warfare anytime with no charges. Now, read that right there as we get. Now, when it says who goes to war on their own charges, you're not going to war on your own money. You give rations and you give payment to the soldiers. soldiers don't go on their own finances.
It says, being so valuable, soldiers in the Roman army. It says, being so valuable, soldiers in the Roman army were sometimes paid with salt instead of money. Their monthly
Soldiers get paid. They go to war. They didn't go to war on charge. They went on the government. They were given salt, man.
Their monthly allowance was called solarium, right?
Salarium.
Oh, salarium. Sal being the Latin word from salt, the Latin root can be recognized in the French word solarium. And it eventually made into the English language as the word salary.
Salary. It eventually made the English language salary. So the word salary goes back to the word salary and salt. Okay, so that was the salary, that was the wages that Roman citizens were given. So when they went to war, they didn't go to war, they don't charge, right? You got that established. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 9:7. Who goeth for warfare any time at his own charges, who planteth a vineyard and eateth not of the fruit thereof.
So wait a minute. Who planted the vineyard and eateth not of the fruit thereof? Who goes and plants a vineyard and doesn't eat off of the fruit that is produced? Then we got a term called the fruits of your labor. And your labor produces fruit. You able to benefit. So who plants a vineyard and doesn't eat of the fruit thereof? They planted, they labored to produce. Go ahead.
Or who feedeth a flock and eateth not of the milk of the flock.
So who feeds a flock and doesn't eat of the milk of the flock? Meaning who goes and has a flock and doesn't eat or put it into that flock, but they have a flock that they raise and produced. Go ahead.
Say
Nobody, they all have the right to. Go ahead.
Say I these things as a man.
So it's giving you all of these different examples of how a person is able to reap the benefits of their deeds. Just as the apostles are able to reap the benefits of their apostleship and forbear working and live off of the resources of the congregation of the church. Go ahead, bro.
It says, say I these things as a man, or saith not the law the same also?
Am I saying these things as a man, like it's my own opinion, or am I saying it because the law says it? Go ahead.
For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that treadeth out the corn.
So he wasn't saying that as a man, he was saying it because the Lord said it. He's not supposed to muzzle the ox that tread out the corn. Deuteronomy 25 is like that?
Deuteronomy chapter 25 and verse 4. Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn.
Okay. Yes, so you're not supposed to muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn.
If brethren,
So when the ox is treading out the corn, treading out the wheat, you're not supposed to put a muzzle on it. It's supposed to be able to eat off his work, off his deeds. And corn is not, when you think of corn, you're thinking of like corn or a cob. That's not what we're talking about. It's talking about grain. You know, it's talking about wheat. It ain't really talking about actual corn or a cob. Because you think, oh, it's talking about corn.
That's not in Israel.
That's not even in Israel. They didn't have it over there.
Right.
Okay, so it's not even talking about that. It's talking about wheat. So when the ox would be treading the wheat, separating the wheat from the chaff, it wouldn't have a muzzle on it because it should be able to eat off of his own work.
where it says, if brethren dwell together, and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall
But
not.
that's good. That's good. So it's in the law. Let's go back there.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 9. For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox that treadeth out the corn. Doeth the Most High take care of the oxen?
Yeah, do the Most High take care of the oxen? Yeah. Right.
Or saith he it altogether for our sakes?
Or saith he it all together for our sakes? The Most High take care of the oxen. That's what was written there. Though he's taking care of the oxen too, it was written there for our sakes as well. It says that ox should not be muzzled that he takes care of. That ox not being muzzled is a representation of us as well. Remember the scripture tell you, most high grow the grass and so on and so forth, so he's not going to take care of you. So of course, if you're going to take care of ox, you're going to take care of us. Go ahead.
It says, or saith he it altogether for our sakes? For our sakes, no doubt, this is written, that he that ploweth should plow in hope.
So for us, it's written that he that ploweth should plow in hope. So guess what? If you're plowing or working, you do it in hope. This is in righteousness, this is in faith. of the soul. Some of the benefits of the soul. Just as someone that rents up a flock should be able to eat the milk. Just as somebody that plants a vineyard should be able to eat the vineyard. Just as somebody that goes to war, don't go to war on your own charges. And oppression is the part of threshing. You have a wooden bowl with metal blades in the end. You have the ox pulling that threshing bowl. So what happens is it'll separate the wheat from the chaff. That's what threshing bowl
It says, if we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things?
Sown unto you spiritual things. Is it a great thing if spiritual things is sown and the seed of things spiritual? So they should reap together things that's carnal. The money that was secure. They're supposed to feed the bread.
If others be partakers of this power over you, or not we rather?
If others are partakers of this power, or not we rather? Who partakes of that? You gotta pay taxes to the government. So if they partake of that, should that be impossible as well? You gotta pay them. What about those people who school? Right?
Nevertheless,
And other people that they may have to pay for whatever debt or something. Right?
nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of the Mashiach.
What? They have not what? This power?
It says, nevertheless, we have not used this power.
Nevertheless, they have not used that power. So they just use that power. Remember, the Thessalonians, they used it. So we see how the business are lined up together. It's not just written there like, oh, just write a bunch of stuff. It's all, like, see how it's all lined up together? Right? Makes sense, right?
It says, nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffer all things, lest we should.
What? They suffer all things. Remember Thessalonians said, working with travail night and day? So it goes right together. It goes right together. Right?
But suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of a Mashiach.
But they suffer all things, but they should hinder the gospel of Yahushua. So they said, you know what, let's go out there and work and do it so we don't hinder the gospel, man. Because them seeking resources from the church, that could have been a big issue with the whole congregation. We're taking our money, man. When you go into Corinthians, the whole money thing was a big deal. That was a real big thing, man. Some people were like, oh, Pastor, we ain't really got no money to give you. When you really go into the scriptures, you'll see that. I saw Apostle had to write 2 epistles to them. And that's why if you notice, they was all long. First and Second Corinthians was long. Why? Because they had so much issues with them.
And then I when they sold,
Yep, in Acts, yep.
when they sold the land,
Yeah.
and they held back from giving to the Lord, man.
Yes. There you go, bro. That's correct.
Verse 12, it says, if others be partakers of this power over you, or not we rather. Nevertheless, verse 13. 1 Corinthians 9 and 13. Do ye not
Look
know?
at that scripture in Mark, 2nd chapter.
I had it.
All right, read what you got, then bring that out.
All right.
1 Corinthians 9 and 13. Do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple? And
Say
they,
that one more time.
it says, do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple?
Right, so they which minister about holy things live on the things of the temple. Because remember, you had the showbread that was in the temple. And remember, it was what, 12 pieces? Then I'm thinking it was 12 pieces of showbread. And remember, it was changed every Sabbath. The priests eat it. That's why I said they which minister in the temple. He said they do what?
It says things live of the things of the temple.
They live in the things of the temple. Holy things. Read that, huh? Mark.
This is Mark 2 and 23. And it came to pass that he went through the cornfields on the Sabbath day, and his disciples began as they went to pluck the ears of corn. And the Pharisees said unto him, Behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful?
Yeah, well, while you're walking on the Sabbath, man, you go in the ears of corn, you go in the fields, you plucking the ears of corn, right?
Verse 25. And he said unto them, Have ye never read what David did when he had need and was an hungered?
That was a sin, right?
He and they that were with him, how he went into the house of the Most High in the days of Abiathar, the high priest, and did eat the showbread. which is not lawful to eat, but for the priest.
Oh, so you got a scripture that links right with that, right? Which was lawful to eat, but for the priests. So they which minister the things of the temple, they should live over the things of the temple. Man. Go to that.
It says, and gave also to them which were with him.
There you go. Go to that. What else it says?
That was it.
That was it. Keep reading. Somebody get Leviticus on deck. 6:24. I keep reading that up, man.
Hey, Salaki, brother, I'm trying to digest what you were saying. I kind of went over my head what you was trying to, how you comparing them.
Okay.
Like elaborate a bit, Salaki.
Oh, with the what you mean with that?
The precept you had just bring with this one.
When it said do you not know that they which minister about holy things live off the things of the temple? So they which minister, or in other words, to serve holy things, they should live off the things of the temple.
Right.
So you have the priests that will be taking care of the sacrifices. You would have the showbread, which was 12 pieces of bread. It would be changed every Sabbath. Guess what? Though they were a priest, though they were ministers of the temple, they would live off the things of the temple.
Gotcha.
Because that's what they the ones that ate the showbread. Then Yahushua just said it was only lawful for the priests to eat. Just as they were able to reap the benefits of their labor, though those that had a flock will reap the benefits of the milk of the flock. Those that planted the vineyard reap the benefits of what produced there. Just that someone who was a soldier didn't have to go to minister on war on their own charges. So it all relates.
Because I remember when King David was hugging him in this ring, and they
That's what it just put out right there.
Okay, so he was like, oh, because they was not allowed to eat the showbread, so we got the showbread it's only for the priest.
Yep.
David took it, he ate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like
Come on, brother.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
It says that they which wait.
Stop in that verse. On the top of it.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and 13. Do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple? And they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar.
They which wait at the altar are to the altar. Get that scripture out real quick. Leviticus.
Leviticus 6:24. It says,
20 and verse 26.
and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Aaron and his sons, saying,
Speak unto Aaron and his son, saying, right?
this is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, shall the sin offering be killed before the Lord. It is most holy. Verse 26.
And then what? You throw it in the garbage? Right?
It says, the priest that offer it for sin shall eat it.
Oh, whoa! The priest that offer it shall eat it. Didn't it just say that wait at the altar shall partake of the altar? Here you go. Right?
You know, like in the history of Bel and the Dragon, when they were saying that Dagon was eating the offering, but it was really their priests that was eating the offering. But see, with the Mosai told the priest to eat it. Because the Lord ain't, Mosai ain't gonna come down here and sacrifice. Mosai ain't gonna do that shit, man. You know?
Because in the history of Bel and Dragon, that dragon was called, you look it up, it's called Mushushu. Mushu. In fact, somebody type that in. Shushu. Yeah.
How you spell that?
Use the voice
M-U-S-H.
My voice thing is messing up. My shit fell.
Got it? Now, this is a cartoon. This is a Disney movie from Mulan. But go back.
Oh, Mushu the Dragon from Mulan. That's what came up.
Disney, they very demonic. They bring out stuff that's partial truth. They bring out stuff in their movies that's true. You know what I mean? So when they bring certain things out, you know, see, you gotta understand to do what the beast Disney was an occultist, and he brought out a lot of demonic things in his cartoons that was directed towards his kids, man. And it said under the Disney that it's MK Ultra. Dang, that's why you got a lot of these Disney characters, these people that was brought up in Disney, you know, like what's her name again? Britney Spears and her daughter, her sister. They look how they turn out, man.
You know, years ago, the apostles, in 2014 Passover, you remember this, the brothers that were there, that the apostle of Tahar talked about giving your tithes and your offerings. And the apostle of Tahar said, when you give your tithes and offerings, we're not giving it to Michael the Archangel. We're using it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I saw that video. I saw that video.
Right, and that's why the Lord said the priest shall eat it.
Yeah,
You know
because you
what I'm
can't
saying?
in these times we can't give the same sort of offering. So today's offerings is like monetary things or like garments or something that's useful to the body.
That's right. That's right. You know, like I remember Pastor said that they didn't give it to Michael. Because you know these imbeciles in the churches, they think their money really going to the Most High. Like the most, like the priest going in the back. It's a spiritual ATM. You deposit it. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, boy. That's Wikipedia. That's called Mushusu. Scroll up a little bit down a little more so you can see the other picture.
You could tap it, brother. Tap your phone. Let me see that. Okay.
That's
I had to tap it.
That's how we read about Bel and the Dragon. And another term for Bel is Marduk. You read about that in Jeremiah. Now just read right here. Yeah, right there.
So Mashushu was the scared animal.
Sacred.
The Mashushu was the sacred animal of Merodach and his son Nabu.
When we read Jeremiah, it says Nebo. Remember that word in Jeremiah, Nebo? So you read about Bel and the Dragon, you're reading about Marduk and Mushusu.
During the Neo-Babylonian Empire, the dragon Mashushu, who Marduk once vanquished, became his symbolic animal and servant.
Now, go down a little bit more like this.
9th century BCE depiction of the statue of Marduk was his servant dragon. With his servant dragon Mashushu on his feet, or at his feet.
It's a dragon, man.
This was Marduk's main cult image in Babylon.
From that
Bel is a dragon.
That's Bel and the Dragon. Hey, you know what's spread, bro? I did a show on that years ago. They took the video down, man.
Wow.
I did a show on that like 2013. They took that video down, man. I probably got to do that again.
Yeah.
That's
That's deep right there, bro. Bel and the Dragon. That's an explanation of Bel and the Dragon. That's a breakdown of Bel and the Dragon.
You know? That's what that go into. Because remember it said the cult the cult image. So if it was a cult image, it means what? It was something I was worshiping. Wasn't they saying, oh look, this Marduk is God is eating it and all of that? So we got an idea of that. You know?
Marduk is broken.
Yeah.
Images are
There you go. And that was one of his images, brother. So it all ties in. And remember it said Neo-Babylonian Empire. So that wasn't talking about the Babylon that you wasn't talking about Babylon that you read about in Genesis.
Yeah.
It was going into Jeremiah.
Assyria.
The Syrian, exactly. You know? And it's another lesson I wanted to do. I never did it.
Wow, that's deep.
But Itemnaki. They say that what you call it? They say that the Tower of Babel was called Itemnaki. If you Itemnaki, if you go and you read into it, it's the word Temnaki. If I'm spelling it correctly. That was like a historical word that you associate with it, but I never did a lesson on it. Read that part again, bro. You go back to that scripture, right?
Right now?
Yeah, read it one more time.
All right, back in Leviticus chapter 6, verse 25. It says, "Speak unto Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, shall the sin offering be killed before the Lord. It is most holy." It says, "The priest that offer it for sin shall eat it." It says, "In the holy place."
That offers shall eat it in the holy place, right?
In the holy place shall it be eaten, in the courts of the tabernacle of the congregation.
There you go. So you see this, all the scriptures tying in. So, you know, sometimes you read stuff, and you know, you might not know what it means. But sometimes both sides gonna open up your mind and understand. You know?
Oh, I got
Go
something.
to that. You got something up?
So since you said that,
Okay.
this is what I thought about.
Yeah, there you go.
This is
This is the thing I was talking about. Right. See, it says Nebuchadnezzar, Tower of Babel.
Yep.
You know?
And it spelled like ETM. Yeah, the camera can see it. Yep.
Yeah.
You had mentioned you said sometimes you're reading stuff and then the Most High gives you the understanding.
Yeah.
This is Psalms 119 and 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. And that's pretty much how you elaborate and everything, precept upon precept. And it said
Hebrew hopscotch.
Hebrew hopscotch. It says, therefore I hate every false way. It's like a puzzle piece. You're putting together the puzzle piece, like sometimes you don't even know what the fuck you're putting together. You kind of, was that a car? Is that a tree? What is it? Then you put together and it's like, oh, well, that's what I'm
start
looking
seeing it as like the thing I mentioned to you earlier on the side.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you start seeing it as
Yeah, the whole carpenter thing. Yeah, it's like there's so many layers. We was talking about because you had mentioned the dowry, and then I was bringing out the fact the woman that lost a coin. It's like Yahweh Shah is giving a parable to how important it is a lost member, like a sinner, but that was also a cultural context of a woman that she would wear the dowry, the 10 pieces of silver. It was a dowry ornament. When you break off with a chick, all that she had on her, that's what she had. When you divorced a woman in the ancient world, so they would keep the dowry, everything. It was like a chick that walk around with a diamond ring today or something. You know what I'm saying? And it has value to it. If you kick her to the curb and all she had was a ring, she needs it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's just so many layers to the scriptures, man.
That's right, brother. Going to that? This is First Corinthians 9 and 14. Right. It says, even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. There you go. They would teach the gospel, should live of the gospel. Right? So I have used none of these things. That's good right there.
Go to 1 Corinthians, I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter where it says, we start talking about what is Paul and what is Apollos. There you go. 1 Corinthians 1 and 1 Corinthians 1 and 10.
This is 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 10. It says, now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, and that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. For it have been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them.
So it's declared to me unto you, but this is what I've been hearing, man. This is what Apostle Paul is saying. There should be no division among you. You're supposed to be speaking the same thing. Because this is what I'm hearing, man. Go ahead.
It says, for it have been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them which are of the house of Chloe, that there are contentions among you.
It's contention, strife among y'all, man. Go ahead.
Now this I say, that every one of you saith, I am of Paul, and I of Apollos, and I of Cephas, and I of Hamashiach.
So one guy saying, yo, man, I came up under Paul. One guy said, well, I came up under Apollos. Another guy saying, oh, I came up under Cephas, Peter. Everybody's saying, I came up under this guy. I came up under that guy. You know, I'm up under this guy. I'm under him. You got like now. I'm in the honorable, so-called honorable General Yohana. Well, I'm in this camp. I'm in that camp. This guy, my camp leader. But guess what? What did he say?
He says, is Hamashiach divided?
Is Yahweh Shah divided? You saying you of Paul? You saying you of Apollos? You saying you of Cephas? You saying that Yahweh Shah? Is Yahweh Shah divided? So now they're like, oh, snap. You know, go ahead.
It says, was Paul crucified for you?
Was Paul crucified for you? Somebody you came up under Paul. But was Paul crucified for you, brother? Go ahead.
It says, or were ye baptized in the name of Paul?
Were you baptized in my name? Go ahead.
I think
you can only imagine how their hearts felt like, damn, man.
Yeah.
You know, when this epistle was written, somebody had to stand up out there on a podium, like on a podium, because think about that in the book of Ezra. I stood on like a podium. The word podium wasn't actually used. I think it was used, podium, but it's in the book of Ezra. But somebody took this letter, and they'll stand up before the people or sit down before the people, and they'll read this letter to the whole congregation.
Hey, brother, I could envision a brother reading this that was saying the same thing. Y'all came up on the pole and he reading that part just to cut.
Yeah. That's right, brother. And
Shit.
I thank the Most High that I baptized none of you, but
Crispus and
Crispus and Gaius. Least any should say that I have baptized in my own name.
I'm glad I ain't baptized none of y'all dudes, man. Y'all be going around saying that I baptized my whole name. Man.
And I baptized also the household of Stephanus. Besides, I know not whether I baptized any other. Or
Chapter 3, verse 1.
1 Corinthians 3:1. I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Hamashiach.
Okay.
I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. For ye are yet carnal, for whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men?
Right.
For while one saith, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are ye not carnal?
Right.
Who then is Paul, and who is Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believe?
So who's Paul and Apollos? You just ministers by whom you believe.
Yeah, right.
In other words, we're ministers or servants of the Most High by whom which you believe in Yahweh Shemel Shah. That's all. You just ministers that was sitting here to teach you, who are on day to teach you, and you believe on Yahweh Shah to the teaching that we gave you. That's all we are.
Even going back to the angel that came to Manoah and his wife, you know, they asked him for his name. He said, why hast thou my name seen in secret? They would have probably set up an altar to him. You know? They would have probably set up an altar to him and start worshiping him. About speaking to him. It speaks about so just impossible for them, these guys to start worshiping him like he's a god or something. That's why he said what he said.
Remember, they did that when he was on the island of Melita. He got bit by the serpent, and he didn't die. They thought he was a god. He got bit by that snake, and he didn't die. I told you that in Acts.
It says, verse 5, who then is Paul?
Remember, they was calling Paul Mercurius. Right?
Who is Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believe, even as the Lord gave to every man.
Right?
I have planted, Apollos water, but the Most High gave the increase.
So I planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High gave the increase. You know what? We went out there and we labored, but the Most High is what caused our labor to become fruitful. He's what caused us to produce all of this. So we're just laborers. We don't go around saying, oh, I'm on Apollos, I'm on Paul. So now you give greater insight on what's going on. Because see, when you first come into the truth, you don't really understand the scriptures. You kind of like reading the scriptures just to gather up precepts. That's how it is. I don't know.
Parrot.
Reading, huh?
We're parrots.
You're a parrot.
Yeah.
Read the scriptures just to gather up precepts. I got a precept. I got this. But you don't really understand the context in which you go into. You don't really understand the chapter. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it is when you first start studying. And it's true. Because then once you start to learn more, you just read that chapter, oh, now I understand the proper context in which that was actually referenced. You would still bring it out correct, but you understand it on a deeper level now. So now when you go back, when brothers go back and read 1 Corinthians, you know what they're going to do? You're going to read it more patiently and try to really understand the actual time period that this actually understand what this really talking about, what actual time it was actually in.
You could read that. I got your precept for you. You can read that part. I planted. Go ahead. One more time.
1 Corinthians 3:6, I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High gave the increase.
This is Psalms 127:1. A song of degrees for Solomon. Except the Lord build a house, they labor in vain that build it.
There you go. Go build a house. And they made that build it. The Lord got to be the one that build the house. You can take whatever stone you want to take to try to build the house. But the Most High is going to only let the house be built if He lets it be built.
It says, except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh, but in vain.
Now unless the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. Meaning you can wake up all night and sit in that watchtower watch for the enemy. Guess what? The enemy is going to invade you unless the Lord is the one unless the Lord is choosing to protect that business. You wake it in vain. You stay up and look out until nobody come. But guess what? You're only going to not get invaded. The Lord don't want you to get invaded.
I can say this too, brother. Sometimes you come in, you have like a sentimental attachment to a brother, and you see him falling to the wayside, and early on you kind of think like, damn, am I not coaching him up right enough, or I'm not doing this enough? You're doing your part, brother. It's really up to the Lord if he attains and retains the information.
But you know, those guys in the truth that we was cool with, that you knew in the world, whatever, they stuck around for a couple of years, and then eventually they faded to black. You know, you see them nowadays, they look like a nigga. That's how it be. You see them years later, they look like a nigga. They look weak. You know, they look like physically weak. They look like a nigga. You know, they got like weed lips. You know the weed lips?
Black lips.
They got the weed domes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They look like niggas now. They look like a nigga, man. You're saying that in your mind, but you're like, yo, this is what he does. That's how it happens.
First of the world of the dead.
Yeah.
So I ran into one brother, we used to call him Tiny Tim. When I saw him, he was smoking a cigarette. When he see me threw the cigarette on the floor, but I already saw him. This was years ago. Remember I told you? This was years ago. You know?
That's that shit.
I was walking, and he was walking with some other dude that he had like a Dutch right here in his ear. I already know, he walked with him, I already know what they're going to do. But he was smoking a cigarette. When he saw me, he threw it to the side and trying to show me, but I don't smoke. So you could the smoke is reeking off him. You know what I mean? So I was like, wow, I ain't saying nothing, you know what I mean? He ain't ready out the truth. When he saw me, he was condemned in his way. That's why he threw the shit on the floor. You know
That guy's still putting on videos.
Huh?
That guy's still putting on videos.
You still put up videos?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, hey, made the most out beautiful, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you probably hot as hell. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 3, verse 7. So that neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High that giveth the increase.
So he that planted and watered receives nothing. It's the Most High that gives the increase, right? Stop worshiping us. Stop being an ass kisser. That's basically what the Apostle Paul is saying.
Men, please.
Now stop being a man pleaser. Go to that. You got it tonight? What verse you read? Alright, you can go to you can read it. We'll read it a little bit more.
Verse 8. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. For if we are laborers together with the Most High, ye are the Most High's husbandry. Ye are the Most High's building.
You're right. Come there and speak for us. We're going to close up quick. Since you came, this guy here to speak. So get something and let this brother break it down. We're about to close up real quick. If I had known, I would let you know. It's all right.
This is 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 8. It says, now he that planteth and he that watereth are one.
Yeah, because we got the same agenda, and that's to do the will of Yahweh Shemel Shah. So it's not us worshiping other men. We worship one man that came in the flesh, a pure man, which his name was Yahweh Shah. So the one that watered, read it again.
Yep, it says, matter of fact, let me start up. This is 1 Corinthians 3 and 6. I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High gave the increase.
Yeah, the Most High gave the increase to your learning, and that's what's happening right now. We're in the learning process of being perfect. Okay, we come out of highways and byways to be cleansed and purified. So now the water, the increase is happening because the Lord is supping with us. That's in Revelation chapter 3. Okay, we on.
It says, so then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High that giveth the increase.
The man that did both of those jobs are nothing. The one that's everything is Yahweh Yahweh Shah. He's the one that's supping with us. Okay, you got that verse? That's in Revelation 3 verse. He said Yahweh Shah is supping with us. Yeah, read that one.
It's Revelation chapter 3, verse 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
And that's your mind the Lord standing at. He's standing at the door and knock. Yeah, read on.
If any man hear my voice and open
How
the
do you
door,
hear the Lord's voice? It's by his men. You know come down specifically, if the Lord come down specifically to you, you can't stand in his presence. So, okay, sorry.
Then I'm agree with you.
Okay, you know.
It says, if any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him.
Yeah, if you're willing to understand this, because you gotta want it. You know,
I gotta make it for you.
cut. That was another verse that jumped my head. Okay, read on.
And will sup with him.
Yeah, the Lord's gonna sup with you. That's where you're gonna get the increase at. He's gonna teach you. He's gonna bring you to his light. And people say, don't go to the light. No, you go to the light because that's what salvation is. It's like you go to the light. That's what salvation lies. Read on, brother.
It says, and he with me.
Read that point one more time.
It says, Revelation 3:20, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him.
Open your mind. Open your mind to Yahweh. The Lord got to open your mind for you.
That's also going to the fact that Yahweh Shai was a shepherd. In the ancient world, the people that kept the sheep was an actual shepherd that he acted like as a gate to the sheep.
That's right.
That,
All right. I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Hashem Kakadash, Baba Bo.
That's right.